Welcome back to California Live. Do you remember the very first Star Wars movie when we met young Luke Skywalker at his aunt and uncle's moisture farm in the middle of the Tatooine desert? Well, it turns out harvesting water from the air is not just science fiction. Our Layla Muhammad is meeting a man who turned that Skywalker fantasy into a very real machine called Skywell.
I'm here in downtown LA on the rooftop of the Los Angeles Community Action Network, also known as LA CAN, where they're using Skywell technology to create clean drinking water and to irrigate their crops. So you're probably wondering how this all works. Well, I'm here with the founder and CEO of Skywell, Ron Dorfman. First thing I have to ask you is, how did you come up with this concept?
Well, the beginning of the Skywell story started rather modestly. Two friends talking about the need to reinvent the office water cooler. That's really where it started.
And your vision for the water cooler then was what?
We discovered the existence of atmospheric water generation, which has been around for a long time, but we understood that we could generate water with just plugging it into the wall, having no pipes, no plastic. It was quite attractive. And then we understood how much water there is in the atmosphere. At any one time, there's more water vapor in the air around us than all the rivers and streams on the planet.
Wow. And so how does the process work?
It's simple. We have a fan. It basically brings air across a cold surface. When air gets to a certain temperature, it can no longer hold on to its moisture. So we basically harvest, we separate the moisture from the air. We heat it, we cool it, we purify it for your drinking pleasure.
Okay, speaking of drinking pleasure, I'm gonna take a sip of this. Let's taste it together.
Your good health.
I am, yes. I mean, that's really refreshing and clean. So did you have to tweak the process?
Oh, way longer than I'd like to admit right now. Yes, we took a long R&D process until we were ready to come to market with our premium office unit.
And so at some point you wanted to go beyond just the water cooler to doing more for the community. Talk about how you stepped into that partnership.
Well, like it's so often the case, it just sort of happens. We got contacted by somebody down in Skid Row and asked us if we could help them out with an event. And they were looking to provide water for the community members who were invited to the event, which we did. And it was through that process that we learned, rather painfully, that residents in Skid Row just simply don't have access to clean drinking water.
Well, let's talk to the organization that's working to change that. We're here now with Pete White. He is the founder and executive director of LA CAN. Okay, so Pete, first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is water the lettuce behind you, because I think it needs a little bit of water. Talk about why it was important to find a solution for clean drinking water here on Skid Row.
Absolutely. So here in Skid Row is a 50 square block area in downtown Los Angeles. 13 to 15,000 people live here with very limited access to water. Many folks in this community go to fire hydrants. They use fire hydrant water for everyday things like drinking and cooking. And so to have a stationary machine is almost revolutionary, right? The machine, the Skywell machine here in Skid Row, is finally named the Magic Water Machine.
And I mean, talk about, feeding the community, trying to get clean drinking water. How have you been able to sort of step up your efforts now that you have this technology?
I mean, this technology has helped us in two ways. In the very first way, it's helped us to expand our urban farming, our urban farmscape, because the idea that we can harvest water from the clouds as long as there's 20% relative humidity, that's a game changer, because our costs to water our plants or water our farm goes down. That's one side of it. Now we can water more, we can grow more food, and we can distribute more food to the community. The other side of that, and the most important side of that, is the ability of community to not have to go to fire hydrants, drinking out of lead pipes, but coming for this fresh, clean, healthy water anytime they need it.
You know, I was thinking too when I came up here, Pete, that this is sort of a hidden gem on this rooftop. That people may not even realize that something like this exists right here as a resource for Skid Row.
That's right. I mean, we built it for that reason, and it was great that we partnered up with Skywell and their revolutionary technology, because we believe here that we can create possibilities, and hopefully this becomes a model that we can expand across the city.
All right, thank you, Pete, and thank you too, Ron. Ron told me that his goal is to have this technology in every home, every business, and every school, so everyone has access to clean drinking water.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Layla. It's so refreshing to actually hear some encouraging news about California's future.